There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
We've been fighting a long time, and we've all lost so very much, so many loved ones gone. You are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. Wear it and bring. Above all, stay alive. You have no idea how important you are. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Max Tyler. Let's give it up for me, goddammit. This is going to be another wonderful trip down some sort of memory lane as we try to kick up some dust after what some will consider to be quite the upset. But we'll get to that. And when I say we, I do not mean me alone. No.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, that guy up there, his name is the BBR Bagman. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's good to
Welcome back.
Yes, we are back in black. And since I am one, I can say that and not be racist. And you can tell by the sound of this music that there's only one guy, one lone preacher man that has officially returned to the microphone to show us what we're not seeing. And yes, he gets the longest intro because I'm still trying to work it all out. His name is Preacher, goddammit. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody. How are we doing tonight?
We shall see, sir. We shall see. And now, as I click these various sound effects, I'm so out of practice with this. I'll get used to it, ladies and gentlemen. We have another gentleman here, a fine fourth square on the screen. He is going by the G-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Give it up for him, goddammit. How are you doing, sir?
Hello.
So the G-Man is one of our members of the Black Bag Resources Network. He's actually a life member, if you can believe.
Ooh.
That's, yeah. We'll have to get him like a special sticker or something.
Gold star member, maybe?
There you go.
There you go.
Is there a special sound effect for a life member?
There might be in post-production.
Hell no, nigga.
Inquiring minds will find out eventually.
I got it right here.
Angelo
Hold on.
will definitely hate me then.
It's all right. You can get in line and get in line with the rest of us. Just a note to the audience. Yes, I know you can hear the 3D printer in the background. Nothing I can do about it because it annoys the hell out of me when I'm editing. But my noise gate, when it picks up, you can hear it over there. Luckily, they're both not running right now. But, you know, in due time, I may come up with another STL to print off. So I came back and walked into the middle of a conversation that I guess is going to be the topic for tonight because it's the topic on everyone's mind. People are shaving their heads and going crazy. It's a revolution, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry. No.
They're trying. Yeah, they're trying. It's a little late in the game, but, you know, at least they're self-identifying and you know to stay away from them.
Why?
Yeah. The
Plus, they're giving out handmade
bright colors.
firearm instructions on Reddit, so look for people missing hands.
So I spent the day just watching the meltdown on social media, which, wow. Somebody needs participation trophies and safe spaces because these motherfuckers is freaking out.
I had
It's
a coworker.
not. It is for just a very small portion of people.
Mm.
You know, there's a lot of people who are disappointed. I get that. That's fine. That's part of the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we're seeing is a very small and vocal minority.
I had a coworker that like I talk to regularly. She put a meeting on my calendar for this morning. She wanted to talk to me. As a result of the results of the election, she thinks she might want to be a firearm owner. I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the range first to get you behind a gun to see whether you even like it, and let's start there, right? And I'm looking at it as an opportunity. Yeah, they're looking at it as an opportunity to protect themselves. I'm looking at it as an opportunity to convert them.
Yeah, well, that's
right.
I think that's invariably what happens is you get into some of those other conversations where they've been so adamantly against things for so long, and then they kind of wake up to the idea that, Well, if my side's not in power, maybe I don't want them to have a monopoly on force. But what Preacher was bringing up earlier is another funny phenomenon on the internet where you've got these extremely anti-gun people who now decide they need to arm themselves, and it's a Reddit thread, right?
Yeah.
That they're making homemade firearms.
And it's not good. It's not good. We're talking homemade double-barrel shotguns mounted onto a piece of wood, and the firing pin isn't a firing pin, it's a battery pack to just push electricity into.
Oh, Max's face.
To push electricity into the pin and the rim of the shotgun shell. So it's not going to go great.
Again, this is what happens when you have no gun culture.
Yeah.
Right? They want to talk so badly about the gun culture in this country, but it gives you a basic understanding of how shit works and how not to do things.
Well, and I just want to point out to them, like, a nail always works. A battery dies.
All right, anti-gunner, let me bring you up to speed. Electronic guns are bad. We've been fighting them for a long time. We don't want those. Use a nail. It's better. Piece of pipe that'll fit a 12-gauge shell. You can do this the right way.
Peace out.
Yeah, right.
My first thought is I need to see schematics, because while I do applaud the desire, you know, the hey, maybe
ingenuity?
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The ingenuity. I do understand the lack of knowledge and how that can quite literally blow up in someone's face.
Well played.
So, wow. Yes, I didn't fall into that Reddit thread. I was just watching all the people attacking quote-unquote boomers because apparently they voted and the young folks didn't vote in service, which is how Reddit was explaining it to me. You know, well, you know, yeah. And people... all right, let me just take a step back here. I think we're all just at the point of we're just extremists now. It's just a matter of what extreme are you in. Now that this election has happened, now we have to watch losers lose and winners win, and the characteristics of both are really magnified, because now someone's got something to brag about, somebody's got something to complain about, and we're both, you know, these two factions, because that's really what it is, are now amplifying what they are, and it's just extremism. And the Bagman and I had a conversation earlier yesterday about, you know, should we not, you know, is it worth it, and yada yada yada. And it's gotten to the point of where, like, I'm not surprised by the reaction of the results. I'm just in awe that it's that bad for that side to not get what they wanted.
I swear to God, if you idiots elect that demented man, I will burn this whole place to the ground.
It's the same reaction that happened in 2020.
2016.
Or 16, sorry.
Yeah. 2020, they got what they wanted.
Yeah, it's the same reaction as 16, right? And then it was 4 years of chaos and news. I will say, I have noticed a trend of the traditional media starting to go, wait a minute, maybe we've gone a little bit too far on this. The problem is you let the genie out of the bag, right? And you can see hundreds of examples on Reddit, other locations, where people are like, just find your local Trump supporter, drag him out of bed and kill him. We have to find everybody who did this. So it's no longer the media saying, oh, Nazis or threat to democracy or anything else. It has corrupted an entire section.
You've got these people screeching about how evil these Nazis are, right? And they must be Nazis because they don't believe what I believe. They're Nazis. So we need to drag them out of their beds and murder them. That sounds like Glasnost. where the Germans went through and had their night of broken glass and murdered a bunch of people?
Kristallnacht.
Thank you. And they're not saying this as some sort of parody of their own belief system, right? They're saying it with absolute belief. Yeah.
Well, they believe he's actually Hitler.
But is this now the old adage of, what is it? You play the hero long enough, you become the villain or something like that? The whole link with Batman, like you kill enough people, you become a killer. Like,
yeah,
isn't that just the natural progression of extremism? Is eventually you will go off the deep rails, no matter what side you're on?
I'm going to say no, because I think I've moved in the exact opposite direction, and I think I've taken a pretty extreme stance on my beliefs. But it's become the extreme of like leaving people the hell alone.
I would classify your stance based on my personal knowledge of you, not necessarily left or right. You're just extremely for you, much like myself, who's just like, I have my circle, don't come in my circle, I won't leave my circle to fuck with you. But the demographics that we're discussing here are, for lack of a better term, red or blue, left or right. Whereas we're kind of like yellow or black, so to speak, to where we're not on that spectrum. We're just kind of sitting back watching the madness from afar. And
I think you accidentally stumbled into a really accurate assessment of black and yellow.
Yeah. Well, it's on brand. So it's a lot like we're kind of standing back watching both of these football teams go crazy after they won and lost the Super Bowl. And last time this happened, we saw the reaction from the Kansas City Reds, and now we're seeing the reaction from the Blueberry Blues. And from me sitting back in the stands, it's all extremism that at the end of the day, it's just a divide and conquer kind of separation mechanism that, I've never been a fan of.
Well, it's been the plan for a long time, right? We've seen it for years and years now, is just pushing people further and further apart, further and further away from each other. I think you hit a breaking point where I don't know.
You have to ask what's their goal, right? And their goal is to divide. It's not to unite. And if you get two people of different beliefs together, the chances are they're not going to sit there and argue about their differences. They're going to find common ground and talk about the common ground.
I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that we've lost the art of conversation, and with the art of conversation comes the mutual understanding of, I'm not trying to force my way on you. I'm just trying to express myself so you hear what I'm saying, and we can discuss it. But now the mission statement is,
if you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
And that's how things have been explained and played out and painted, thanks to the mighty media machine, to where that concept of a civil conversation can no longer happen, because it's, you need to be with me or you need to stay away from me. I saw one Reddit post of somebody saying, like, your boomer grandparents didn't vote for so-and-so, so they shouldn't see their grandkids anymore. And it's like, really, bro? Like, you're now ostracizing people just because they think differently of you. It's sad.
There is no civil discourse anymore. It's a thing of the past. I think the other thing that is glaringly apparent to me is you've got small groups on both sides who take it way too far and are eager for bloodshed, right? Mm-hmm. And I would love to say it's only one side or the other, but one side will make their statements very public, and the other side will only say it in quiet, what they think are private conversations. But I've seen.
No. You're not a Reddit person. You're not on the internet.
Fair enough.
So, like,
yeah, fair enough.
There's no filter on Reddit.
No, and it's so easy to be your extreme self, to where people are just diving headfirst into their extreme personalities, and just because they can get up from their desk and walk away and go be the family guy or family girl, and nobody knows their deep dark personality traits they feel safer doing that, and it's to the point now where everything is just chaos, to the point where like there's videos about the chaos, and I spent a considerable amount of time watching people compile the compilations of people just crying and screaming as if they were being attacked, and that's the drawback, not the drawback, but that's the ripple effect of 4 years of painting one person as a villain and then having that person win. Now everybody's afraid, so the anxiety level is up. You're already
8 years.
Yeah, sorry, 8 years. Well, yeah, if you count the 2016, that's going back to that. Like,
well, and if you count out the roll up to that, it's more like 10 years.
Right.
You know,
so you're talking about
now it's
about
just
an entire
this
generation.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Right? They how could this person who we hated so badly possibly win a popularity contest? Because he won the popular vote and the electoral college. So and I got to be honest,
we have to get rid of the popular vote to protect democracy.
Well, first it was we got to get rid of the electoral college. Now it's we got to get rid of the right and
Babylon B never misses.
No, they don't.
They're so close to reality. That's why satire is that close. It's one thin sheet of tissue paper away from reality.
Single ply or double ply?
Definitely single ply. That's that shitty gas station bathroom toilet paper.
Ladies, you can't squeeze the Charmin.
But this isn't Charmin, Mr. Whipple. This is new Charmin. Even more squeezably soft.
But
you can see, feel, and hear the difference. See the bigger puffs, the softness? But you can feel the difference. Feel how much softer. You can even hear. It's really...
No matter how irresistibly soft, please don't squeeze the new Charmin.
I said tissue paper, not toilet paper. I meant the stuff that you wrap around a shirt for Christmas.
No, in a gift bag.
Yeah, toilet paper would be fine too. Okay, but the single ply where the finger comes right through.
It makes me sad. Like after all of this, it now makes me sad that people on that side of this chaos are so upset. Like I'm at the point where I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for both sides because we've all fallen for some sort of Kool-Aid drinkage.
We were talking about mental health issues in this country because people are losing their damn minds. And I guess the only thing I would want to say to the people that are feeling some kind of way, one way or the other, right, whether you're celebrating this or whether you're bemoaning the current situation to the point you feel the need to shave your head and not have sex with your partner, you've probably given away too much of your autonomy to someone who doesn't know you exist.
Well, it's not for him, it's for the cause. And remember, this gender war has been going on for a while, so this is just another what's the word, not volley, salvo, back and forth from two warring factions. So now they're going to try to pull a Chirac and dry up the resources for one side so the other side will bow down to them, even though that has been shown not to work.
I just think it's funny because, I saw the compilation and I was like, this is a bunch of really unfuckable people threatening celibacy. Like, I don't believe that's really a problem.
I totally agree. But it's so I've seen, based on various algorithms that I have, the black women versus black men divide that has been propagated with this thing, and
I've seen that
to the point where even they pull out old Barry Ballsack to come out and try to shame black men and tell them that, almost like the whole if you ain't voting for what's the old man's name again, Biden, then you ain't black, and they pull out fucking Barry like, yeah, well, you should be backing up your black sister queen. It's like, come on, bro, no, They spent like 3.5 years saying black men are trash. Now we supposed to just do what they say because they say it? They can't even back the damn woman up. But whatever.
So, that seems to be the game too with this particular political season, was talking out both sides of their mouth, right? Like you had one party telling you that middle-aged white men are the source of all problems in this country, and then rallied around white guys for Harris, right? You had Democrats screeching about we need an assault weapons ban, and then you had some politician somewhere shooting an AR at steel plates from like 5 yards away, to the point the reporter got hit with spall and was injured because these people are. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so inconsistent. And they think you're stupid. They expect you to fall for it because they think you're that stupid.
No,
they have no safety training, and they go out there and shoot firearms. What do you expect is going to happen?
I think that it's not they think we're that stupid. I think they just are stupid enough to think that it works. It's the Steve Buscemi fellow young people thing. Like, yeah, we're hip, we're cool, right. We can do this. And of course, clearly they have no experience, they have no training with it, and they're just now trying to appeal to any small corner of any demographic by just saying that, yeah, we do this too. Even though we do it poorly, we won't say we do it poorly. Like, they won't even, like a thinking person would say, all right, I'm going to be open-minded, and here's a video of me going to the range for the first time so I can really see what the other half is thinking about, like a true open learning experience. But it's no, I was a Marine, and we used to do this back in the days, and yada, yada, yada. Charlie's in the bush, and next thing I know, I'm hurting a reporter because I'm clearly not trained. I don't think that they underestimate the intelligence of people. I just think we overestimated their intelligence, because the people that they're surrounded, that they surround themselves with, are just a bunch of yes, that's right, that'll work, yeah, hey, let's try that, and there's no common sense. I live in a house full of women, so when I go on my tangents, every now and then somebody will say, oh, you can't say that, and I say, yes, I can. First of all, I just did, so you can't tell me I can't do something that I just did. But it's a lot of that within our society, that you can't say something now, and that blocks people from literally saying, I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm supposed to look like I know what I'm doing. Here's this whole camera crew. We got everybody here, and nobody had the pun intended, the balls to raise their hand and say, all right, where's the instructor? It's, well, you got us here. You are leading the show. We're here for the photo op. So I think it's more incompetence than anything else, because that's how you really get hurt, It was comical to me, because that happened the same week that we were down in Georgia, and you had a couple hundred people there shooting machine guns, and not one safety issue. But you let one politician get his hands on an AR-15 and somebody gets hurt. Like, what the hell? We'll go back to the other one with the dude with the Glock inside the conference room. I forgot who he was, like a ATF guy or a FBI guy or something. I remember it was in the news. Like, he couldn't strip it down.
F director.
There you go. He couldn't strip down the firearm that we paid for him to have, because it was probably government issued. I made a joke in one of my text groups today about when Homegirl said that she has a Glock. And I think everybody knows by now I hate Glocks. And I replied back.
You and me both.
I replied back.
No longer new to Pew.
I was like, bitch, you got a Glock because I paid for you to have a Glock. It's government issued. You, please stop it. It's not a bragging right anymore. Shit, any fucking street thug on the corner's got a Glock on they're like Honda Civics. Everybody has one that they beat up when they first
with
get
a switch.
guns. Exactly.
Well, and the other thing was, she said it like it was some sort of flex.
Yeah, again.
And she said it in like the most cringy way possible. Like, you're using that as a slang term, not an actual brand name.
It's hello, fellow young people.
Yeah.
But
I'm cool too. I got a Glock.
Yeah, but so does every gangbanger, except there's a high point, but they still call it a Glock.
Well, she doesn't know that. She just knows that the case she never opens up has a big G on it. G-Man. See how I just link it all together? That's why I'm the host, ladies and gentlemen. Max Fellas is back in the microphone. Yeah, it's just sadness from my point of view.
I just kind of want to tell people that it's going to be okay. Yeah, sure, you lost, whatever. It's going to be okay.
You can't though.
Nobody's telling them that.
I have that same feeling, right? Like, and we talked about it. You've already got foreign nations backing down from hostile positions. You've already got the Dow taking a massive jump. You've already got Bitcoin taking a massive jump. Like, there is confidence in this administration, whether that's right or wrong, but we're already seeing the improvements because of it, because of the perception. The problem is the people that feel this way don't see any of that. And even if you stand it up in front of them, they're going to refuse to look at it.
And there's
because they've made up in their mind.
There's no market for the apology.
Absolutely.
There's no market, there's no room, there's no promotion in it. And now even Preacher said himself, and somebody else in one of my group chats also said, like, now the media is now shifting, not so anti him now, because they're gonna need attention, they're gonna need likes, clicks, views, and interviews and such. So they already burnt the bridge, but now they're gonna try to build it in a different direction so they can at least have something to do. Clearly, I'm not a fan of the media, and that's always been one of the things that I continue to rant and rave about.
They burnt the bridge, then picked up the ashes and scattered them in the river. It's, and I don't mean that politically, I mean that with the populace. The populace has no confidence in what the media says. The media has said for the last, I don't even know how long, a significant amount of time, that Trump is literally Hitler. Anybody who supports him are literally Nazis, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? So what did the American people do on election night? They elected Hitler. The economy is so bad. The government bureaucracy is so out of control. It is this never-ending monstrous machine that nobody has any control over. That's obvious. The bureaucracy is trying to protect itself. And so even if Trump was Hitler, the people just elected him versus what is currently there. So the comparison is moot. My point is, people stop believing what the media has been force-feeding them for. The majority of people have stopped believing that.
And I think a big part of that was the response to the coverage and the information or misinformation that was spread during COVID.
Oh, it's a huge part of it.
You had a 3-year span where the information was just constantly fluid, and what was the right advice yesterday, and you had to believe 100%. Tomorrow you'd be told that was all wrong, and why did you do that? But if you didn't do exactly what we told you to do today, then you were a monster and you were a terrible person and you were going to kill somebody's grandma or babies or the last unicorn. I don't know. Like, it just got ridiculous.
We've never been at war with Oceania. We've always been at war with East Asia.
Yep.
Or Eurasia, whatever it was.
Yeah, so it's a hot mess, I think. But, and again, on both sides, you've got people cheering for this. What are you really getting out of it? Like, I don't understand that level of enthusiasm either, right? And I remember, and maybe this is a weird tick that I have, that I hang on to things for so long, but I remember during the Obama administration being really weirded out by the people we called the water walkers, right? Who acted like nothing he ever did was wrong, only ever made good decisions, and to this day will tell you straight to their face that he was the only president to have a scandal-free presidency, as if nothing ever bad happened on his watch. And that's just not true.
So some drone strikes that would qualify.
Yeah, some drone strikes. I mean, like, border agents being killed by cartels that were using weapons that were sold by Americans to the cartels, by the ATF, who's supposed to be, because they need to
under his watch.
Look, it's a moot point at this
right. You can say you can do the same thing with Trump in his first round.
Oh yeah,
right. You can absolutely point out the
bump stock.
Yeah, well, in the 2A space, absolutely the bump stock. I think now it's just a matter of, let's see if something changes, right? I think the majority of people are okay, you're in. Now you have to do what you said you were going to do.
Now you got to do something with it. And that was kind of my beef in his first administration was he had everything stacked in his favor and was basically a lame duck as far as I'm concerned. And I was so pissed off with people going, oh, well, you know, yeah, he's trying to ban bump stocks and enact extreme risk protection orders, but he's pro-gun, bro. And I'm like, you understand he passed more gun control than Obama? Like he really did that. Those are factual numbers. You've got 2 from him, 0 from the other guy. He was not pro-gun.
Nope.
And then you had these idiots that were going, oh, well, we're going to trade a bump stock ban for national reciprocity. It's 4D chess, bro. Where the fuck is my national reciprocity?
Right.
Didn't happen.
And now you've got the same
was never
people
actually on the table.
It was never on the table. That was never a bargaining point.
They
pulled that out of their
talking.
ass.
That was people talking. That was not. That was excuses, right?
It was a fairy tale.
It was excuses and a fairy tale, exactly. Yes.
So now, again, everything has swept red as he comes into office, and he's got the same stacked everything in his favor. If he doesn't do it this time, he's going to go down in history as a complete flop of a president, and rightfully so, right? Yeah, there's a lot of problems with the Republican Party, and they need to get on board with actually fixing shit instead of just bitching about it and then not doing anything when they have the opportunity to fix it. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to check out the sponsors we mentioned earlier. Check out the website, blackbagresources.com. And if you really want to go deep and join the community, check out the Black Bag Resources Network. Thanks for listening.